the field of activities, the body, also knowledge, the knowable also described in summary. My devotee all this after understanding to my nature attains. Translation. Thus the field of activities, that is the body, knowledge and knowable, have been summarily described by me. Only my devotees can understand this thoroughly and thus attain to my nature. Purport. The Lord has described in summary the body, knowledge and knowable. This knowledge is of three things: the knower, the knowable, and the process of knowing. Combined, these are called WECAN or science of knowledge. Perfect knowledge can be understood by the unalloyed devotees of the Lord directly. Others are unable to understand. The monists say that at the ultimate stage, these three items become one. But the devotees do not accept this. Knowledge and development of knowledge mean understanding oneself with Krishna consciousness. We are being led by material consciousness. But as soon as we transfer all consciousness to Krishna's activities and realize that Krishna is everything, then we attain real knowledge. In other words, knowledge is nothing but the preliminary stage of understanding devotional service perfectly. In the 15th chapter, this will be very clearly explained. Now, to summarize, one may understand that the verse 6 and 7, beginning from Mahabhutani and continuing through Chetana Dhritihi, analyze the material elements and certain manifestation of the symptoms of life. These combine to form the body or the field of activities. And verses 8 through 12 from Amanitvam to Tattva Jnanartha Darshanam describe the process of knowledge for understanding both types of knower of the field of the activities, namely the soul and the supersoul. These verses 13 to 18, beginning from Anadi Mat Param and continuing through Hridhi Sarvasya Visthitam, describe to the soul and the supersoul, and the Supreme Lord or the supersoul. Thus, three items have been described: the field of activity, the body, the process of understanding, and both the soul and supersoul. It is specially described here that only the unalloyed devotees of the Lord can understand these three items clearly. So for these devotees, Bhagavad Gita is fully useful. It is they who can attain the supreme goal, the nature of the Supreme Lord, Krishna. In other words, only devotees and not others can understand Bhagavad Gita and derive the desired result. Jai Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Srila Gurudev ki jai. So again, this is a very, very powerful verse, and I think purport is even more powerful. That's my realization. But Prabhupada, the way Prabhupada is describing and putting everything into black and white very clearly so that anybody can understand. There is no point to argue. And there is a very interesting definition coming here. Knowledge is nothing but preliminary stage of understanding devotional service perfectly. Preliminary stage of understanding devotional service perfectly. So that's again another definition the way Prabhupada put it. And basically, it's as we say, it's basically same thing, but how we look at it. Now, my relation on this verse, when I was reading this translation and trying to figure out that what I can connect with my previous study and where I can find some references. So I'll share some verses from Bhagavatam, which talks about soul. It's a conversation happening with Brahma ji and Narad Muni, and where Brahma ji actually, the conversation is like this, that Parikshit Maharaj is asking a lot of questions. Yeah, he's setting the tone. and and in that question and answer, the discussion about super soul also comes, which is again a very big topic, but I'll only share my realization here. And this verse is from chapter 8 of Canto 2, number 10. स चापि यत्र पुरुषो विश्वस्थिति उद्भावपयः मुक्त्वात्मा मायां मायेशः शेते सर्वगुहाशयः स चापि यत्र पुरुषो विश्वस्थिति उद्भावपयः मुक्त्वात्मा मायां महेशः शेते सर्वगुहाशयः. Translation by Srila Prabhupada. Please also explain the personality of Godhead who lies in every heart as the super soul and as the Lord of all energies, but is untouched by his external energy. Same thing Prabhupada is also explaining the purport. Means this pure devotional service and this monist and devotees is same thing explaining here also. This question is very nice. There are many questions which Parikshit Maharaj is asking. And super soul being a very big topic, means it's a big realization. It's and so I was trying to understand that why this kind of question do not come to my mind. And I'm just sharing my relation. I'm not trying to show up, but these kind of question never come to my mind, and for whatever reason. However, the question regarding material life automatically comes to my mind, that how I do it, why I'm not getting it, why should I do it, and what, yeah. So those questions automatically come. But these questions related to spiritual topic do not come automatically. And they do not come automatically, they do not come. And being inquisitive is only to a certain level where we have to share realization, or we have to do this, or we have to, yeah, somebody ask some question. So that's where probably. But when I read Prabhupada's purport, as if Prabhupada has written and answered all the questions, and same thing coming in the same chapter in another verse. I would like to share and share what Prabhupada is saying with my realization, because our savior is Prabhupada. No, he shows the way that how to actually study scriptures, how to be inquisitive, how to actually understand the spiritual matters, and how to purify yourself. So this is another verse which is in the same chapter, verse number 16. Pramanam andakoshasya bhayabhadantar bhayabhyantatara bhedatah महतां चानुचरितं वर्णाश्रम विनिश्चयः प्रमाणम् अंडकोशस्य बाह्याभ्यन्तरभेदतः महतां चानुचरितं वर्णाश्रम विनिश्चयः. So this is again a question which is being asked, and the first word is pramanam. Yeah, Prabhupada gives praman all the time. So synonyms are like this: pramanam, extent and measurement; andakoshasya, of the universe; bahya, outer space; abhyantara, inner space; bhedatah, the division of; mahatam, of the great souls; cha, also; anucharitam, character and activities; varna, caste; ashram, order of life; vinishchayah, specifically described. So this is again question answer happening. Extent and measurement of the universe, outer space, inner space by division of the great souls, also character and activities, caste, orders of life, specifically described. Translation. Also, please describe the inner and outer space of the universe by specific divisions, as well as the character and activities of the great souls. And also there are characteristics of the different classification of the caste and orders of social life. So many topics have been covered, and so many questions has been asked in the verse by Parikshit Maharaj. And then Prabhupada writes about this, that who can actually ask this kind of question. Yeah, purport. Maharaj Parikshit is a typical devotee of Lord Krishna. And as such, he is anxious to know the complete significance of the creation of the Lord. He wants to know the inner and outer space of the universal form. It is quite fitting for the real searcher of knowledge to know all about this. Those who are of the opinion that devotees of the Lord are satisfied with mere sentiments can find in the inquiries of Maharaj Parikshit good lessons as to how inquisitive a pure devotee is to know things in their true perfection. And I remember Amrish Prabhu keep repeating this ask question, unless you ask question. And this dumb mind never get you into ask you question. I always take it to personal thing that, okay, what is to ask? Yeah. And whatever I know, and we dwell in that, and we don't want to come out of that situation. But when I read this verse, that means how big this creation is, and that importance of asking question when Parikshit Maharaj is about to die, about to leave body. Sorry, that's the wrong word. About to leave the body, and he want to know all these things at that stage. And I'm sure that he would have known this, all those things. It's nothing new for him. He's also a pure devotee. And then I realized that this is how devotees interact amongst themselves, asking and discussing questions and discussing about Krishna, these topics. And any topic related to Krishna is can be interesting. So that being inquisitive and asking this kind of question, and because I feel that asking question is also a sign of somebody being intelligent. Prabhupada keep talking about this. Means you cannot be in Krishna consciousness unless you are intelligent. Again, the degree of intelligence depend upon the kind of question we ask, the kind of religions we give, and that's how this pure devotee, like we talk about Prabhupada, that if you go in front of Prabhupada, Prabhupada will know you in inside out. Same with Maharaj, and I think same with Amrish Prabhu also now. Because he spent so much time on this that he knows everything, that what's actually working, what's not working, what's the wrong. But unless we are inquisitive and unless we are asking this kind of question, we cannot progress. But to ask this question, again, we have to think about it. We have to dwell on this, which is again a difficult task. And Prabhupada further writes uh, about people like me, the modern scientist, not scientist, the modern scientist is unable to know about the inner space of the universal horizon, and what to speak of the space which covers the universe. And I was listening to some lecture also, and also somewhere else, where Prabhupada says that these people know only a little bit here and there, and they think that they know it all. That's also purely hypothesis. And the reason for Parikshit Maharaj to ask this kind of question about super soul and the creation and all those things, Prabhupada writes, Maharaj Parikshit is not satisfied with only material knowledge. He is inquisitive about the character and activities of the great souls, the devotees of the Lord. The glories of the Lord and the glories of his devotees combined together comprise the complete knowledge of Srimad Bhagavatam. Lord Krishna showed his mother the complete universal creation within his mouth, while she, completely charmed by her son, wanted to look inside the mouth of the Lord just to see how much earth the child had eaten. By the grace of the Lord, the devotees are able to see everything in the universe within the mouth of the Lord. So, what my point is that this Bhagavatam is like this only. We can see everything if we have got right mindset, if we are inquisitive or asking the question. And that's what Krishna is trying to do, so that devotees can understand and devotees can relish. And yeah, so, and that's what, when I was reading this verse for 13:19, and I was talking about super soul. Krishna is now concluding, changing the topic. And he says, only my devotees can understand this thoroughly and thus attain to my nature. Mat bhavaya, my bhav. Yeah, and then he described who the pure devotees are. And that's how I discussed about Parikshit Maharaj being a pure devotee, still inquisitive at the final stage of his life when he's about to leave this material world. And that's how important these topics are. So I want all of you to bless me so that I develop some interest to ask the question, keeping my ego miles away. Thank you, devotees. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, dear devotees. Thank you very much, Avinash Kishore, for your wonderful realization. And please, it's very kind of you, but I'm nobody. I'm struggling very hard to become servant of Guru Maharaj. That's my prayer every day. No? And Guru Maharaj has made me everyone's servant here, all past, present, and future generations of devotees who are manifest and who will manifest. So every day I pray for the benefit of everybody, which ultimately is my benefit. You know? I'm a very selfish person, according to. And your realizations are very correct on many points. You know? So information, like last week we discussed about the same points about the body, knowledge, and the knower of knowledge, attaining the knower of knowledge, knowledgeable. This information becomes knowledge when we sit and digest it. You know? And believe you me, I'm also very, very busy, like all of you, chasing my tail whole day, running around, doing multiple things, juggling, job, business, preaching, teaching, studying, my mind, my senses. But somehow or other, we have to steal time, whereby you can multitask. You know? So things which you are doing, which we are doing in our everyday life, if we are able to somehow connect it with Krishna, then that will be very wonderful. You know? It will be our winning against time. Just like if a person is in love, they'll find ways to love. If a person hates, they'll find ways to hate. Similarly, if we want to learn and if we want to steal time, then we will find ways to steal time. It is imperative that we have to change, you know, for our betterment. We do not know the betterment of others, but for our betterment. So only devotees of Krishna, he says, my devotees can understand this thoroughly. But if we have to understand this thoroughly, because after this, as the chapters progress, as the books change, from Bhagavad Gita to Srimad Bhagavatam, to Chaitanya Charitamrita, to Nectar of Devotion, then there is no need for us to, excuse me, there is no point for us to go back to say, what was that point? Or to I didn't understand when I was being taught basic concepts. That is why we request everybody that don't have gaps in your knowledge. If we have gaps in our knowledge, then our progression is not very good, you know. And don't ever think that because you don't have gaps in your knowledge, that everybody else will respect you. In fact, they will disrespect you. So do not expect any respect from anyone. That is when we have digested knowledge. Keep quiet unless you are asked a question. And when you ask a question, don't be eager to give an answer. One has to understand how much a person is able to digest and why is he asking. It is Kali Yuga. We don't charge. Our charge is to say how much inquisitive the person is. That is that much value people should give. You know? So a devotee has digested this completely thoroughly and thus attains in my nature. Mat bhava upapadit. To my nature, what does it mean? He attains to my nature. What does it mean? This is not going to be told very easily, because this question should be raised in our mind, and then we must ask confidentially, what does it mean? If you give the answer and say, yeah, that's right, you will forget about it the next day. But this time I want to do it a little different. If all of you want that way, then ask this question next week, and we'll discuss this thoroughly. Avinash will discuss it very nicely. There is no doubt. But those who are not prepared, or have prepared, but not giving realization, various reasons, that is good enough, not be busy, not be well, whatever it is, that's perfectly all right. But as long as you are coming, that means I'm a servant. And sometimes servant has to also say that why should we give this information so easily? What do you mean by what Krishna means by and this, they attain to my nature? At what stage do you attain to that nature of Krishna? Yeah. If you do not know the answer, then we'll have vague answers. Yes, I will be a pure devotees. And when will I be pure devotee? Oh, I don't know. So what are we doing? What are we actually doing? So I'm very fallen, Of course. Is there an excuse? Not to think about what do you understand by and to attain to my nature. So leader Sangha means leadership. And for leader Sangha is a very big privilege. We are already putting privileges for people to join our beginners program. And from beginners program to intermediate program, it's a privilege. It's not a birthright. So really leader Sangha is a super privilege. So think about it and write your answers. And I want you to give me deep answers. Not vague, attain my nature, become pure devotee of Krishna, this, I'm telling you now only. That is not the answer. There is also part of the answer. So, this doesn't require big studies. You don't have time, no problem. Just read the purport here. Prabhupada gives the answers here. And Avinash was clear, there's many points also. Yes. But this is very critical for being a devotee. Otherwise, we cannot call ourselves being a devotee of Krishna. At every stage, we have to check whether am I a devotee? I'm asking for help. Is this the correct help I'm asking? Or shall I not be asking? We discussed on Sunday also some points which you may refer to. And do not give your answers by next Wednesday on the last day. You must try and give your answers before this Sunday in the Leaders' Sangha. And please give deep answers. I'm very sorry you have found a very inconsiderate servant, It was demanding servant. I'm not demanding, I'm requesting. Yeah. So if you want an answer, you all know the answers. Please give the answer by this Sunday in our Leaders' Sangha. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna. Anyone wants to clarify this point or ask any questions? Please feel free. Thank you. Okay. So thank you very much. We will conclude today a little early because there are less speakers and I did not speak completely because I was wanting everybody to participate, which we will do. Krishna willing, by mercy of Guru Maharaj. Jai. Srila Gurudev ki Jai. Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada ki Jai.
Jai.
Shri Nitai Gaur Chandra Premanande Hari Hari Bol. Shri Bhagavad Gita ki Jai. Granthraj Srimad Bhagavatam ki Jai. Shri Chaitanya Charitamrita ki Jai. Nakal ki Jai. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.